together, we will make America great again.
So even if it de facto it's gone, de jure it still exists.
Let me ask you a very simple question.
Yeah.
A term you keep on throwing around.
Got you.
What is racism?
What is racism? Ooh, that's a very complicated question. But
no, it's not.
I mean, there's a simple answer, and then there's the highly theoretical answer.
Give me the simple.
The simple answer will essentially be because we have like different skin colors, that he's treated a different way than me. He has like a different upbringing than me.
No. But what is racism in practice?
It's discrimination.
Based on the color of the skin.
Based on the color of the skin, yeah.
Got it, thank you. So isn't it racist then to penalize white people to come into college or to get jobs based on the color of their skin?
Well, no.
Wouldn't that be racist? So you're arguing for a very racist policy, which is that we should actively discriminate against people based on the color of their skin, which is affirmative action in DEI in practice.
I just disagree with the premise that you can do like anti-white racism because
Wait, can you be racist against white people?
No, bro, I'm a cracker, bro. What the f? No, you can't be racist towards white. Bro, there's so many crackers here, bro. There's your clip, bro. There's your clip. Well, what are you gonna do political violence to me, bro? Like, why are you saying that to me? You're making me scared. Okay.
So let me tell you what we believe, because you tell us what you believe.
Okay.
Your worldview is indistinguishable from the KKK. That you want to organize the world based on skin color. We want to organize the world based on merit and character, based on how hard you work, what you bring to the table. I believe it's destructive and wrong to say that people are going to be organized or have their future set based on the color of their skin. I think it's tribalistic. I think it is divisive, and I think it hurts the excellence of a country. You asked a question, well, how are we going to help other communities? You know how you help other communities? Stop pandering to them and start treating them like individuals made in the image of God, not tribes to be organized for political purposes.
Okay, so do you think, like, when Trump is now he's president, now that racism is gone now because Trump is back and we're no longer pandering, right? Do you think that the conditions of black people, do you think O Block is going to become, like, a much nicer place? Do you think that these very downturned sort of black neighborhoods that have been sort of left behind, do you think they're going to become revitalized now? Is that what you think is going to happen?
Yeah, they'll do better for sure.
Do you think they're going to do better?
I'm hoping that you could explain, without using a single buzzword or a conservative talking point, what CRT is.
So you want to go back to Herbert Marcuse, the Frankfurt School, Michel Foucault, Jacques Derrida,
I want you to
One-Dimensional
answer
Man?
my question.
No, I'm just asking you, how far back do you want me to go?
I want you to explain what CRT is.
What CRT is comes out of critical theory, which came out of the Frankfurt School, which is a belief that there are systems that exist both institutionally and systemically, and that through critical theory, which also has critical law theory, through the kind of the changing of how we view society must be through a racial lens and not through a economic lens or through a legal lens. And if you look very clearly at the writings of Marcuse, at the writings of Spinoza, especially in the early 1990s where this started to pop up, there was this idea that we must give preference based on the melanin content of people's skin, not on actions, not on choices, and instead, because America's so unequal, because it is so inequitable, that these writers and authors that were the beginning people that actually started this term critical race theory 50 or 60 years ago believed that this would be a true Marxist type movement that would help happen in this country. It was kind of fostered and started in many different universities across this country. Marcuse came from the Frankfurt School, and it really kind of comes back to the couple beliefs that CRT believes in, to make it overly simple. Number one, that there is no such thing as absolute truth. That number two, power dynamics are more important than anything else. Number three, skin color should be something that has a top priority in how we characterize people and their worth and their dignity. Number four, that kind of American history and kind of how we teach it is completely wrong. Five, that America is systemically racist, and I could continue from that. That right there is a 35,000-foot view. Happy to go deeper, but that is the history of critical race theory, and it's evolved into terms of wokeism, diversity, equity, inclusion, the idea of America being systemically racist, 1619 Project. They're all outgrowths of the postmodern deconstructionist type viewpoint that started in the 1960s from Marcuse, who was a Marxist type believer in the Frankfurt School, was expelled, found domicile here in America, and implemented in our colleges. How'd I do?
I do appreciate appreciate that response. Thank you. You did use the word wokeism, which is a conservative buzzword, unfortunately. I'm going to take my seat. Thank you.
How about this? How about this? Garbage.
And that's not always true, especially if you're a major in gender studies. Let me tell you. And I am sorry, I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand if you're majoring in gender studies, because I do have nothing nice to say about that. Not going to call you out, but give me a second. So brave. Guys, it's fine, it's fine. Guys, it's okay. Okay, guys, do you want to ask a question? Do you want to come down and ask a question or just shout? Okay, this is just a show. I love it. All right. Can we get the communists out of here? Guys, honestly, if you want to ask a question, I want you to stay here. But if you just want to shout and be an angry communist, could you please just leave? If you have a question, stay here. Stay here, right? If you're actually here because you have ideas, I want you to stay here. If you don't, all right, then let's just get them out of here so we can continue the event. Great, guys. Amazing. Amazing. Can we get them out? Sometimes I just want to sit here and see how long they can do this before they realize that nobody gives a like nobody cares. All right, guys, so brave, so brave. Just get out. All right. And I think that kind of proves the point. They never have anything smart to say. They just scream. That's it. Like they're just toddlers.
Poverty and white poverty different? Do
No.
they face different?
No, poor is poor.
That's a lie. White people are more likely to be in rural poverty, which is different than urban poverty.
That's because black people don't live in rural parts of America.
What?
That's because black people don't live in rural parts of America.
Why? Historically, why? Why did black people flock?
Because of Lyndon
to
Baines
urban-
Johnson, urban planning, central planning, great society, where he said, we are going to verticalize the black community, destroy the black father, introduce drugs in the late 1960s, subsidize single motherhood, which used to be 22% in the 1960s, which is now 73%. Only a government program could make something like that happen.
Did it have anything to do with the lynchings in the South and the hostility towards black people in the South?
Well, first off, you say
Is there any
you're
reason why they
sitting-
left the South for
just
that
so
reason?
just so everybody
Is that-
knows, literally not half people, 1/3 of the people that were lynched in the South were white Republicans. So Republicans were being lynched in the South as well. So let's not pretend that
Okay, that's
if
fine,
your
but that's
argument,
not-
if you're
that's not
asking
addressing
me,
my
it
point.
seems
You're
like
just- that's a what about
it
argument.
seems
You
like
just addressed something else.
no, I just responded.
Does
You
it
said
have
it was a
anything
dialogue.
to do black people leaving the South and going to inner cities and other
He just
parts of the
answered that
country
question for you.
have anything to, no, I said, does it have anything to do with the KKK
Very little to nothing.
lynchings
Yes.
and violence in the South that black people faced?
So what it has to do with is the fact that black people continue.
Answer my question.
No,
Very little to
you're-
Does
nothing.
it? Yes or no?
Very
You're
little.
not allowing
Answer.
me to, okay, listen, you're not going to be like, you're not my boss.
You
So
guys
don't
do the
tell me,
same shit.
don't
You
tell me
guys
how
talk
I
over
have to
people all the
answer
time.
your
I was just
question,
over there
okay?
with you shutting people down.
Nobody's intimidated from you telling me how I'm
I'm
going to
not
answer
trying
your
to
question.
intimidate you. I'm
You're not
trying to
going
have an
you're not
honest
going to cut me off,
conversation.
okay?
No, I'm trying to have an honest conversation, which you
Why
guys
don't you
do
stop
not want to.
exercising your invisible white privilege and let the black girl talk for a second, okay?
That's nice. No, this has nothing to do with
Okay.
About institutional racism, we're talking about the entire system as a whole. We don't say fuck white police. We say fuck the police, because the entire system, it's the entire system that is racist. Me personally, while I'm driving as a black woman in a Mercedes, I was pulled over. Driving while black, have you ever heard of it?
I've heard of driving while
And
black.
it happens. It's happened to all of
sometimes.
my brothers. It's happened to my father. It's happened to my uncles. This is a system of racism. Bro, I'm not about to do this with you. And you know what? I'm not even asking a question, because I'm not down to sit here and sing Kumbaya and hold hands and talk about what we can change, because we've been telling you guys, if you have to ask us what our problem is, it's no point. It's no point.
I'm going to say it
You
again.
missed it.
I'm going to say it again, and it's the exact same thing I said earlier. I refuse to take a black person seriously that wants to talk to me about the 0.00004% of black people, unarmed black people, that are shot by police officers, and does not want to have a conversation with me about the 17 million black babies that were aborted. No. What you guys are boycotting, you're focused on things that are not negatively. More black people were got struck by lightning in 2016 than shot by police. More police officers were shot by black people than the other way around. So what it comes down to is this is a lot of motion and there's no fact. That's what it comes down to. There's no fact.
It is fitting that you came up here with a Malcolm X book, because you articulated exactly the opposite of some of the stuff he said. But also, you're right. Thank you. Yeah, flick me off. That's tolerant. It works. You're right. You don't want kumbaya. This is why the left must be obliterated in America, because they don't want to agree with us.
Do you feel proud of yourself for debating college kids who are unprepared to speak in front of an audience like yourself? Hold on. You're 30 years old. We can agree you're 30 years old, right? Do you think that's a little bit silly?
Are you a voter?
I am a voter. I'm a
So
registered voter.
I vote and you vote. So I'm talking to voters of this country that will determine the future of Western civilization. That's what I'm doing here today. Yeah? Wait, hold on. How is it any different than a professor talking to you?
Then a professor talking to you? Who are you?
Well, important enough for you to come up to a microphone.
Actually, when I first saw this ad, I thought it was like an improv comedy thing. It looked so ridiculous that I didn't even think it was real.
Well, no, you could see. Look how popular Trump is on your campus. How does that make you feel? That's not comedy. That is a 5-alarm fire for Kamala Harris, because she's probably going to lose Pennsylvania.
Look.
I have a question. Can I see your face, or is it like prohibited?
I just don't want to associate my face with like my politics.
Is there a reason for that?
I just don't want worried about my career. Is that okay?
Well, it depends about what you're about to say.
Okay, so can I just ask it?
You can ask it, and then we'll determine whether you are a person who should not be able to get a job.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So I just want to know, how hard was it to generate AI generated images of Hamas?
So you should take off your mask now.
Twitter?
Not really because what you're saying is so anti-Semitic, but just because what you're saying is so unbelievably stupid that I hope employers take a good stock of a person who does something so dumb. So
Can you come back for 1 second? Because this is an important question. You said you're an EMT.
Yes.
Okay, if you're responding to a health emergency. Biological male, somebody with a penis, is having a medical emergency, and they say to you, "I think I'm having a miscarriage." Would you check them to see if they're having a miscarriage? Would you consider that a possibility for them?
No, but that's because some people don't have body parts. Doesn't mean they're not a woman.
Okay. Sounds like we've established there are some people who, in principle, can get pregnant, and there are some people who can't.
What's your name?
None of your business, unfortunately, but...
Okay, hello, nice to meet you, none of your business.
Thank you, I appreciate it. So, do you love America?
Yes, I do.
I hate America. every state in the USA should be an independent country. What do you think of this?
Well, I just first have to ask, since you hate the country, do you plan to leave?
What do you mean by that?
Do you plan to go live in another country?
No, I do not.
Let me tell you something.
Your face is an idiot.
America is the only country where even those who hate it refuse to leave. That's how you know you live in a great country.
Can you prove that? Well, thank you. May I have a hat?
No. So let me ask you, none of your business. Who do you plan to vote for?
I plan to vote for Kamala Harris.
Why?
I mean, you answered my question, so I'm done here. Like, there are people waiting.
Can you tell me her greatest accomplishment?
No, I can't.
Can you tell me a single accomplishment?
I cannot. I want to leave. Like.
You believe that it's okay to kill an animal when it's not okay to kill a child. You defend a child more. Some children die. Some children never make it out of the womb.
Well, because human beings are human. A is A, and human beings are worthy of protection, and animals are not humans.
What about milk? But animals are raped all the time. Cows are raped to produce milk. Yeah, to produce milk, a cow has to be impregnated.
You think that cows are being raped? I got to be honest.
Yes.
I've been doing this for 12 years. I've never heard that before.
Yes, but they are raped because they're not referred to as being raped. They're said to be forcibly inseminated. How come that's okay, but raping a small child is not?
I would not.
Yeah. Welcome to Boulder.
We're not transphobic. Are you aware that most of the people who have bans and what you are fighting for is transphobic? You are being transphobic against kids like myself and other people before.
Would you care to explain what that means, what transphobia means?
Yeah. It's a lot.
Thank you. Blockers are life-saving. What evidence do you have for that?
They can be. The evidence is the encounters with patients who have had these procedures done, and it has saved I don't want to say it saved their lives, but it has made their lives better. I can't confirm whether or not they're alive right this second, but there are children that it has helped. So what do you have to say for the happy trans community who has benefited from these procedures? That's my question.
I guess what I have
for
to
you.
say is that your entire question is built on a whole stack of false premises that you can't begin to even remotely defend. So it's a faulty question from the start. I reject your premise. I absolutely reject that there are any kids who need to be chemically castrated in order to be happy.
Okay, let's.
I reject that.
Well, if this kid is in class, like middle school, and he's like, well, I feel like a woman, that teacher has full right to go to that parent and say, this is what he is thinking, and now it puts the kid in a more dangerous position, because what if the parent doesn't agree with that?
Yeah, well, there's a few things on that. There have been bills like that proposed in other states. I fully support those bills. I think every school should do that.
Do you feel that is an invasion of that child's privacy, though?
I don't think it is an invasion of privacy at all, because this is an important detail about that child that the school and the teacher know, but are they going to keep it from the parents? So this is not privacy of the child. This is, should there be secrets between a teacher and a child that the parent is not aware of? And what I would say is, even if they're not a teacher, there should be no adult in the world who has a secret with my child that I'm not aware of.
Do we have any other presence here today? Additionally, you just pointed out that this man detransitioned, but earlier in your speech,
Guys, I want to hear her. Go ahead. What do I have to say? Just the question, please. No speech. What is the question?
what do you have to say to the trans students on this campus who feel actively victimized by your presence here?
Life's tough. Get a helmet, man. I'm too pregnant for this. Next question.
You're like, I'm getting ripped off by a $1,000 ticket, but you still get on the airplane. Like, it doesn't make you a hypocrite. It means that the people are ripping you off, and a lot of you are getting ripped off. But no, so as far as white privilege, just without the history lesson of, Jim Crow, segregation, imperialism, colonialism, slavery, all the stuff that I know that you're going to say, but just concretely in America today, what can a white person do that a black person can't do?
Black applicants to jobs are 50% less likely to get jobs if they have a black-sounding name.
That's not even close to being true. That's not even close to being true.
That is a literal.
In fact, it's the opposite.
I'm not gonna argue your lived experience. I'm not gonna. No.
See, now you have to listen to him under your rules because a black person is going to say you're wrong.
I am. He can say I'm wrong. I know.
Come on up to the mic.
I know. I read your.
My name's Keemon Dixon. I have a really black name. Please tell me how 50% of my internships have been denied when I've worked for Senator Mike Lee, Mayor Trent Sachs, Speaker Mike Schultz.
Hold on.
I've worked for Congressman Burgess Owens. I've actually worked on his campaign. I've worked on the campaigns of John Huntsman Jr. Please tell me how my black experience and my black name has not given me shit. Go ahead.
What gender is, especially transgender. I know the lawyer said transsexual earlier. That's not the correct term. It's transgender. I'm a transgender woman. My pronouns are she, her, and I will only accept those pronouns. I will not be addressed any other way. And in the workspace, I'm protected by that. Our students should be too, especially when they're not over 18 and don't have a voice. So I'm just imploring you to go beyond what, just really consider what is this fight really about? Why is it such entrenched? I know we hear a lot about religious liberty, and quite honestly, I grew up in Christian education all through college. I don't remember any of my doctrinal classes mentioning only male and female, and that's the way it should be. If you feel it is, awesome, good. You get to believe that. You don't get to impose those beliefs on anybody else. And that's actually what religious liberty is that your right to believe that is protected, but the other person that identifies as something else is also is right to be protected. So I guess I'm here to say is, with Oshkosh Pride, we're paying attention. And we're going to be involved in this conversation if it keeps on going.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous that you guys are even considering letting bathrooms and locker rooms being co-ed. I don't care how they identify or whatever kind of delusion people live in, whatever kind of mental disease that they have. Boys are boys and girls are girls. It's simple and basic. It's always been that way, and that's why we have separate bathrooms. I'm not going to allow my girls or my boys to shower with the opposite sex because I don't want them fondled or tainted by one of these deranged people sexually. And that's what lingers in these groups of homosexuality and transgenderism is sexually explicit ideology. My daughter goes to Franklin. She brought home books about how it's okay that two parents are gay in a household and it's okay for boys to be girls and girls to be boys. What kind of delusion are you guys living in?